trudged along on their journey, and as they went, the three wise men once again spotted the amazingly bright star glittering in the sky. They were tremendously excited. Seeing it made them feel so very happy. But the camels were not feeling quite so happy. They were beginning to feel fed up with traveling. They had had enough of getting lost, so they started to tease the very hopeless camel. They tottered and they swayed. They staggered and they hobbled. They lurched and they wobbled on their spindly legs. They fell over their hooves. They tripped each other up, and they ended up in one enormous heap. The very hopeless camel shook his head wisely. Out of the corner of his eye, he noticed an old tumble-down stable. The very beautiful star glittered and sparkled high in the sky. It danced right above the stable. The very hopeless camel felt greatly relieved. I think I'm right this time, he thought secretly to himself. That amazingly bright star is right overhead. This must be the place where this special baby has been born. Thank goodness for that. But aloud he exclaimed, just a little bit doubtfully, "Here we are. Don't you think that this is the place where you will find the very special baby?"
The very hopeless camel could hardly contain himself. He was so sure that he was right this time. Before anybody else had a chance to, he looked into the stable, and immediately his heart sank. It was crowded out. It was absolutely full of animals. There were sheep, lambs, donkeys, and oxen standing up and huddling around the middle of the stable. You couldn't see anything but woolly coats, furry backs, curly horns, and wispy tails. The very hopeless camel could not believe his eyes. He sat down in amazement. "This can't be the place where the special baby has been born," he said to the other camels. "Have a look." And in despair, he closed his eyes and covered his ears with his hooves. The other camels did take a look. They peeped over each other's humps and gazed into the stable. And quite a different scene met their eyes. The donkeys and oxen were now lying down. Shepherds were standing beside their sheep and lambs. And right in the middle of the stable, they saw Mary and Joseph with little baby Jesus. He was lying in the manger. The three wise men were beside the tiny baby. They were giving him the special gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Then they knelt down and worshipped him.
baby had been born. He's got it right this time, they whispered to each other behind their hooves. But they decided to tease him just once more. Now you've really done it, shouted one camel. Why did we let you lead us here, shouted another. Where on earth have you brought us, shouted a third. The very hopeless camel looked most disconcerted. I know, I've got it wrong again, he said despondently. He hung his head and looked at his hooves sadly. He really had been a hopeless leader. He had let everyone down, and he certainly had not found the place where the very special baby had been born. He felt absolutely downhearted. Come on, let's go, he said slowly as he got to his feet. He took one last look into the stable, and this time his heart jumped for joy. For right in the middle of the stable, with Mary and Joseph close by, he saw the tiny baby, born to be king. And immediately the very hopeless camel knew that this baby was a very special baby indeed. The very hopeless camel beamed ecstatically. He gamboled about like a young camel once more. I've done it, he shrieked. I found the place where the very special baby had been born. And here he is. And the very hopeless camel capered around again.
The stars shone down on the happy scene, and in the shimmering light of the amazingly bright star, the camels looked reverently at little baby Jesus, born to be king. He was so wonderful to see, and they cheered with joy. The very hopeless camel swished his tail and wiggled his hump in the air with pride. Crump, he snorted with delight. Crump, crump, crump. Now that I've found the baby king, I'm not a hopeless camel any longer. I'm a very happy, hopeful camel. Baby Jesus turned his head and looked at the very happy, hopeful camel, and he smiled at him.